hey, man, all we got to do is win. You see all the attention that we're getting? Like, that has registered now. And I think that's something that they couldn't fathom. They didn't understand that it could happen because of the light that shined up on us, and we're thankful for that. But these young men, they know now, if, man, we just ball out, we're going to get the love that we desire. And that's all they want. They want attention, focus, and a little love and light. And ain't nothing wrong with that, as long as they use it in the right way.
One thing is for sure, Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes definitely have the attention of the entire college football nation. No doubt about it. As I've said many times here, eyeballs mean advertisers, and advertisers mean dollars. But in the case of Coach Prime, it also means two other big things in regards to college football. One, you're going to get mad attention from other schools and other football programs. And number two, you're going to get even madder attention from potential transfers and also from potential recruits. I did a video about a year ago while Deion was still at Jackson State, and I said he was eventually going to begin pulling recruits from coaches like Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. And people laughed at me. But you know what? They ain't laughing no more. Listen to what Nick Saban apostle Paul Feinbaum had to say about this.
Things change, and what Deion is doing right now is where college football is at.
Now, it's funny to see Paul Feinbaum talking this way just 2 or 3 days ago when he said what Deion Sanders was doing was basically an epidemic, and then he was going to cause all kinds of problems in college football. But Paul Feinbaum has seen the light.
He's revolutionizing the sport, but that's already going through all these different machinations, and you just have to accept it. You can't hate everything that's new and exciting. And what Deion really has done, and I think this is what upsets Chris Russo more than anything, is that he has taken over the sport in one game. Now, there was a 9-month lead up.
But he told you this shouldn't be a surprise all along. What was his slogan? His slogan was, "We coming." He didn't back down at all. He told you for 9 months, "We coming."
But in that one afternoon in Texas, he shut all the naysayers up. All those who said this was a terrible hire. He's a showman. What he's about to do is become the highest paid coach in the game. And when he leaves Colorado, at some point he will, he's going to be in demand. All the schools that snubbed their nose at him a couple of years ago and a couple of months ago will not anymore. And what's really the most important.
Think about that. He is going to take a big-time college football job. We all know that Nick Saban isn't long for this world. He may retire in the next couple of years. Can you imagine? Can you even possibly imagine if Deion Sanders followed Nick Saban? I can't even imagine what would happen with that program. What would happen in college football if Deion Sanders ended up in Alabama?
The important part is players want to play for him.
Feinbaum is 100% right. The game has forever been changed, basically overnight. But Deion didn't change the game. He's just the perfect coach to step in and exploit it. In the era of NIL deals and the transfer portal, Deion Sanders is the perfect coach for that scenario. None of the current college football coaches are equipped to work the NIL deals and transfer portal the way Deion Sanders can. And in fact, some of them shy away from it. Even Dabo Swinney wants no part of the NIL deal and transfer portal. But right about now, I wonder how Dabo Swinney really feels after seeing what happened to him this week against Duke. But what Stephen A. Smith is about to say is the real reason why Deion Sanders is going to be able to call his shots.
Even a loss to Nebraska doesn't erase what we just saw last weekend, and it doesn't erase what Deion Sanders has done. Then we talking about money, because a lot of times you hire these white coaches with these big names or supposedly with these, these connections, and you're thinking that that's going to be to the benefit of the program. Well, let me tell you what Deion Sanders has done in Colorado. Paul, I know you're listening. Do you know that Colorado has already sold over $430,000 in single game tickets since the TCU upset? since
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. He's putting asses in the seats.
Saturday. They sold $430,000 in season tickets. Saturday's game is set at TCU, set a record with over 53,000 fans for a stadium that had an official capacity for 46,000. That's showing.
Standing room only at an away game. They were at TCU, and like Stephen A is going to say, that shows you can bring a crowd on the road.
When Deion's attraction in terms of bringing his team on the road, he could be a road attraction. Also, resale tickets averaging over $400 for the home opener against Nebraska this week, and they're more expensive than any upcoming Week 1 NFL matchup.
That alone is just spectacular. That means that this weekend, as the Nebraska Cornhuskers visit the Colorado Buffaloes, that is the top ticket for all of football, pro and college. The top ticket is Nebraska versus Colorado.
Do you realize that? This is according to my research. You got this here. And obviously, Shedeur Sanders and two-way star Travis Hunter, they've already seen their Heisman odds skyrocket, and they've also improved their NIL potential. Sanders alone right now, Shedeur Sanders, NIL deals, Gatorade, Mercedes-Benz, Under Armour, Beats by Dre. So I'm saying take all of those things into consideration. And Deion Sanders is the one that's facilitated this kind of stuff happening. It falls right to what Paul Feinbaum has said. If I can get a coach that is that magnetic, that draws that kind of audience, that draws the camera, which ultimately is going to assist in recruiting, and big-time athletes are going to be interested in coming to him instead of going to the Alabamas and the Georgias potentially and other people like that.
I called that last year, that he's going to start bringing recruits in, and he's going to compete with the likes of Alabama for players.
Yeah, or at least just as much as you go to Alabama, Georgia, and stuff like that. And you show that you could earn a program money, and you could facilitate players earning money. That opens up the floodgates of opportunities, man, and you cannot ignore that. Deion Sanders has proven to be big time in a multitude of ways.
Absolutely. Big time in a multitude of ways. He's bringing in money. So far, he's winning. He's already won. I don't care if they get beat by Nebraska or not, but he has shown that he can bring in dollars, which is most important to the boards, the trustees, the alumni, all that kind of stuff. So he went and just jumped in full throttle and has completely revolutionized college football as a whole, and obviously the Colorado Buffalo football program. If that wasn't stunning enough, check out the ratings for the broadcast of the Colorado TCU game. So if you haven't seen this is just incredible. It's probably going to blow you away. So the ratings for the game got released. 7.3 million. I'm just going to round up. 7.3 million people watched the Colorado Buffaloes play TCU. And the only reason people tuned in to see the Colorado Buffaloes was because of Deion Sanders. Even my wife, who's not a big college football fan, she sat and watched the entire game and absolutely loved it. It was indeed a show. So let's dig in further into these numbers. Hope you can see them okay. Colorado at TCU on Fox was the most watched telecast of the day on any network. Any network. Ranks as Fox's most watched Week 1 Big Noon Saturday game ever. And was up 17% over 2022's Big Noon Saturday. An average on Fox was 6.2 million viewers for that show. It was the third most watched Big 12 regular season college football game ever broadcast on Fox. It was the fourth most streamed college football game in Fox Sports history. From 11 a.m., which was the big noon kickoff, they posted 1.3 million viewers, up 22% over last year's event. Those numbers are phenomenal. I don't want to get into the weeds about advertising, but just let me tell you this. Advertisers love this kind of data. If you look at the bottom of this chart, this is from Nielsen. Nielsen is what the advertisers and brands look at to see who we should be putting our money with. This kind of data means right away Colorado is going to get the attention of some big name advertisers, which means big time money. Out of everything you've seen in the past week, and even on my videos, and you can see why Deion Sanders is the top story in sports right now. And with international superstar soccer player Lionel Messi on a bit of a hiatus, Deion is it. There's no other sports story even close right now. Not even the start of the NFL season. Oh, and I forgot. Colorado is now ranked in the top 25. They debuted at number 22 this week. That's after, I forget, 1-11, 0-12, whatever they were last year. They were ranked in the top 25 this week. How much bigger can this story get? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in on Saturday and watch the Colorado Buffaloes take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It's must-see TV. I'll be watching. I hope you're going to be watching. Talk to you soon.